Yo, we back with another one. So y'all know Jim Jones and 50 Cent been going at it, right? They say 50 Cent just humiliated Jim Jones. So we finna check out the video and see what's going on.
Jim Jones has officially hit rock bottom. At this point, I don't know how you show your face on the internet again. For some very dumb reason, Jim Jones decided he wanted to beef with 50 Cent. And now 50 Cent got Jim Jones in a checkmate, cornered at all angles. Let's do a brief recap on how this started, and then we'll get to the new updates, okay? So Jim Jones and his co-host spoke on 50 Cent doing a documentary about Diddy, and they were kind of in disapproval of this. 50 Cent got wind of it, got wind of them speaking on him. So 50 Cent decided that he was going to get in contact with the landlord for the building. And he got in contact with the landlord for the building. And the landlord apparently already had a beef with Jim Jones, so he was willing to sell 50 Cent the building and work with 50 Cent. Now, what came from that is a phone call where the landlord is breaking down all of Jim Jones' business, telling 50 Cent that Jim Jones owes back rent, that they're trying to evict Jim Jones. Jim Jones is squatting right now because he won't leave the building. Jim Jones has hit rock bottom today, but before today, 50 Cent had already been terrorizing Jim Jones, making his life miserable. So 50 Cent has a vendetta against Jim Jones as a...
And right then and there, when Jim Jones knew the landlord was talking to 50 Cent, I would have stopped dealing with him. If my landlord associating with the ops, why would I keep giving him money? I can't mess with you no more. I can't trust you. I'm not finna give you no more money. You messing with the ops. Y'all feel me? Like, this is crazy.
Of lately, because Jim Jones decided he was going to speak on 50 Cent and this Diddy documentary. Him and his co-host expressed they didn't feel like 50 Cent doing a documentary on Diddy was right. So 50 Cent decided, okay, yeah, I'm going to contact the landlord of the building you're filming that podcast in, and I'm going to try to own the building so you can't film that podcast anymore. So what happened is 50 Cent called the landlord, not even knowing the landlord and Jim Jones already beefing. He already hates Jim Jones because Jim Jones owes him a lot of money. So 50 get in contact with the landlord, and the landlord is telling 50 Cent all of Jim Jones' business already.
Want to rent it. And I said, okay, fine. Right? He's been saying this for since October. And so he keeps trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want 6 months of build out. And ridiculous bullshit. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company. He's not a business. He's insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me. Right now he owes, I'm going to say it in a short way, at least $80,000, if not $180,000.
It's actually through the landlord that 50 Cent found.
Bruh, if your landlord call 50 Cent and say you owe $150,000, you cannot keep doing business with this man. This man is now an op and officially cannot be trusted. What the hell Jim Jones thinking? And if you got all this money, Jimmy, why you even dealing with dude? Y'all could have put it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? No rap about it or less rap about it, whatever they call it, it could have been did anywhere. But y'all dealing with a rat, big rat, Monterey Jack type. You know what I'm saying? Master Splinter, Mickey Mouse now. Dude, a rat. He telling 50 Cent everything about y'all. This is crazy.
Found out that the building that Jim Jones is currently filming in has no heat. That they turned off the heat in an attempt to get Jim Jones out the building because Jim Jones is currently squatting while they were trying to evict him. So 50 Cent has all this information. Jim Jones, for some reason, was still commenting on the internet, still trying to deny certain things, still trying to pretend like him and the building, him and the landlord was all good and it was actually his building. After 50 Cent exposed Jim Jones was squatting, he was being evicted, and that there's no heat, Jim Jones did a tour of the building where he was trying to prove that he's this boss and he has like a multi-production studio coming, and he's about to build a new section and a new faction in the building. But whole time, the building is trying to evict him while Jim Jones is doing renovations and work in the building.
Since I'm starting the year off at the top of your Explorer, are you not entertained? Since everybody want to put my business in the street, I'm gonna talk to you about my business.
Man, it's too cold in there, Jimmy. I can see the smoke coming out your mouth. This ain't right. Oh, we got to start a GoFundMe or something, man. Jimmy them need some heat up in there.
Right now, I am in the second phase of construction. We're not open to public. This is a raw space. I have not found out yet what I want to do exactly in this space, but in my mind, I was thinking of building like a little mart, but we'll see how that goes.
This is the problem with hustle culture. Everybody wants to appear like they're doing something, but nobody want to actually do something. Jim Jones is building an entire business in a building that he's not even allowed to be in, that he has to break into to get in. So Jim Jones is launching this thing called the IFC Factory, right? It's supposed to be like a content studio where you come, you do your podcasting, you can come, you do like photo shoots in. I even seen like they got this joint on Peerspace right now. You could book this for $65 an hour on Peerspace, 2 hours minimum. I seen it. I said, oh. But he's doing this in a building where they're actively trying to evict him from. That's why it's stupid, all right? That's why it's dumb. Jim Jones was able to stay as long as he's been staying because Jim Jones, A, got some money, 2, is New York, tenants got a lot of rights. So Jim Jones understands like certain laws and regulations to where he's been able to squat for as long as he's been able to squat, but they've been actively trying to evict him. Well, today 50 Cent announced that the eviction process has been somewhat successful, and now they're taking steps to have it enforced and get Jim Jones out the building. The eviction notice was actually posted on their door, and it was addressed to IFC Management, which is obviously Jim Jones' company. Now, Jim Jones was building like a content studio, so he had the IFC Management, right, like for the studio name. Joseph Jones, obviously, right? It was posted at this particular.
Getting an eviction notice on your content studio is crazy. Pray for Jim Jones, real. Gotta pray for Jimmy, man. This is terrible. Like, this is going from bad to worse. An eviction notice on the content studio. How you gonna do the content if you get kicked out the content studio? Pray for Jimmy, y'all.
Address. Now, the studio or the building is so big, it takes up multiple addresses, right? Is I think at 788, 789, 791, like first floor, second floor. It's really, 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 really big, okay? But from actually reading this, because this is my first time actually reading this, it looks like the landlord at 50 still got some more steps to take. So they alerted Jim Jones of a notice of default, meaning, he owes money. All right, that notice was sent January 15th. It expired January 22nd. Jim Jones never paid it. And then a 5-day notice of termination. They sent the 5 days notice of termination they're claiming on February 10th, which expired on February 17th. From what I just read, it looks like Jim Jones may have some action, maybe another month of being able to use the studio as they go through the next phase, which is to get a sheriff out there, get the eviction order, and then get the sheriff out there to drag Jim Jones from out the building. Hopefully it don't go that far. Now, 50 Cent got access to, like some clips or videos of Jim Jones actually in the building. Now, we'll find out later how exactly 50 Cent was able to get access. Yes, he's in, connection to the landlord, but it's actually much deeper than that. But the video that 50 Cent posted of Jim Jones is really embarrassing. So it shows Jim Jones trying to break in certain rooms in the building because certain rooms have access to the heat. They turn the heat off. Jim Jones trying to access those rooms to turn the heat back on. And certain rooms is closed off and locked by the landlord. Jim Jones trying to break in those rooms as well. But this is just a all-around bad look.
Wait a minute. He putting the boost to the hold on, man. Jimmy putting the boost to that door.
FBI, open up!
Oh, it's all bad. And ah!
We cut the lights off. We have to go. You heard me? We cut the lights off.
Jimmy still kicking on doors?
What's up? Yeah, I'm good. No, it's mine.
Hey, man, that's that old Jimmy, man. Bruh, this man trying to kick down the door, bro. If I got to go through all that, I don't even want to be there. No lights, no heat, and I don't think it's a room where like they could just cut the heat off, something like that. I don't know how the landlord doing it, but either way it go, I'll just tell your buddy, like, I'll go find, you know what I'm saying, somewhere else to handle the business or somewhere else to conduct the business. Like, you trying to leave me out in the cold and the lights is off. But if he own money, I understand. But still, as a landlord, you still don't supposed to be able to do that. That's like really against the law. Whether a person owe you money or not, like you can't take away their heat and their electricity. Like that's crazy. Oh wow, bro. Jimmy going out bad.
You heard Jim? He cut the lights off.
The homie goes in the room and flickers the light back and forth. And he tells Jimmy, I hope y'all heard it. He tells Jim Jones, hey, yo, Jimmy, they cut the lights off. Bro, you are Jim Jones. You are somebody who has access to a level of funding and money and income that the regular person don't have. Why put yourself through this? Why not go out and do this the right way? Why not go out, get financing, go through a bank if you can't afford it, and get yourself a building and build this thing from ground up? Why are you in a building that you can't afford? Don't Jim Jones owe like $180,000 on this building? Now, this was about like 2 months ago he owed $180,000. It's probably more now. If you can't afford it, if you can't afford the building, leave. Subjecting yourself to this, is cruel and unusual, man.
Hey, man, listen, man. I ain't finna go through all that. It's time to pack it up and go. You gotta go. Get up out of there, man. Just go ahead, go on about your business, man. I'm not even finna be going through all this.
What's up? What happened? Yeah, I'm good. No, it's mine. It's my property. All right?
There's no sound, but look at the absolute rage in Jim Jones right now, man. Jim Jones is steaming right now, bro. God, yo, I could feel the vibration of brokenness through the screen, bro. And he's doing all of this, by the way, to find a room where the landlord turned off the heat from, so he could go back and actually like turn the breaker back on or turn whatever back on to bring back heat to the building. Because when you watch that video of Jim Jones that we just saw, like when he did the tour, when Jim Jones was speaking, you could literally see his own breath, which tells you is below freezing in that building. Now, when Jim Jones and Mano and Fab and Davies do their podcast, they're all bundled up. Like the only person I've seen with maybe like some type of, I don't know, like sweater that's light is like Mano at times, but Mano is a husky dude. But they're all bundled up at all times. Jim Jones is walking away frustrated.
They do be having on big jackets and everything on the podcast. But man, look. If they ain't chipping in, if it's all on Jimmy, man, Jimmy need to, like I said, either pay up or leave. Running around kicking doors and the landlord telling 50 Cent all your business and Now the landlord in business with 50 Cent? Like, come on, bro.
Frustrated, man, mad as hell, telling people to calm down. So apparently, like, he's instructing them to calm down so they could brutalize the door some more. This is just sad, bro. Yo, Jim looked defeated right now. Look at him, bro. Braids disheveled, breathing heavy. Make no mistake about it, bro. Jim Jones is doing all of this because he want to flex for the gram, right? He want to flex for the gram that he's doing something, that he got his own building. That's what this is all about, man. And he's putting people's livelihoods at risk. You know, there's a girl who do like a talk show on the IFC network or whatnot, and she is renting out like the space on Peer Space as well. So she's making a little bit of income there and on her podcast. Now that's at risk because of this. But the bad news doesn't end there for Jim Jones, because apparently 50 Cent has somehow managed to get in cahoots with the owner. Now this is the dude, right, that's been chatty patting it up on Jim Jones. This is the owner who's been calling 50 Cent and feeding.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm not doing business with Buddy. Hell no, man. He looked like he'll kick you out if you missed the first month rent. He looked like he a rat. So just straight up snake. He don't play. I ain't doing no business with that guy at all.
50 Cent all the information about Jim Jones. Now, he's clout hungry as a mug. Like, he is super clout hungry. So, apparently, though, that dude, him right there, apparently he gave 50 Cent ownership stake in the building. So, 50 Cent says, Sam is my partner. I own the joint. So, apparently he owns the building now. So, 50 Cent owns the building now as well. Now you're going to fix every door you kick, or I'm going to kick your butt, Jimmy. By Monday, you're destroying my property. Damn, bruh. This is sad, man. And it doesn't even end here, right? It doesn't end here with just the 50 and Jim Jones, because now Jim Jones have acquired a certain amount of enemies due to Mano and other people, because Jim don't really like cause too much beef on that podcast. Mano caused the majority of the beefs. Now you got the enemies that Jim Jones have inherited from his co-host. Now they is making fun of Jimmy. Academics took to his live stream to eviscerate Jim Jones, Mano, Dave East, and Fabulous.
You guys are 50 years old getting evicted. That's disgusting and sad. You guys have all had supposedly prosperous careers in whatever you've done. To get evicted at 50 years old is fucking pathetic.
No, even Act getting in on it? This ain't a good look, bro. This ain't a good look. Oh, man.
Fab, you rap for 30 years. If you can't pay your rent, that's disgusting. Jim Jones, you gangbanged and did a whole bunch of bullshit for like 50 years. If you can't pay your rent, that's disgusting. Mano, you done robbed the entire Brooklyn niggas and pulled out guns on them. If you didn't rob enough money to pay your rent, that's disgusting.
Who Mano robbed, though? I ain't never heard about Mano robbing nobody. Mano was robbing niggas in Brooklyn? Brooklyn, tap in. Was Mano robbing? Was Mano around Brooklyn robbing it? I ain't never heard that one before.
I'm sorry to tell y'all, man. Kicking in doors at 50 years old is just not the wave. And maybe I got to be the pussy civilian to kind of like, you know, bring the youth that's watching y'all, because y'all previously says y'all were bodega boys, lobby boys, now podcast boys, or as 50 calls y'all, squatters. I'll lead the audience y'all are trying to appeal to. Hey, YNs of the world, never be this. When you're 50, you should be kicked back, feet up, living a luxurious life with galore, kids that you're taking care of, and many things to show. Not being kicking down a door to get in to start gossiping.
I also want Jim Jones to know you can't joke your way out of this too, bruh. Because the first time Jim Jones got exposed for owing rent and being a squatter, they went on their podcast that episode and made hella cringe squatter jokes. But this time around, you can't joke your way out of this one, bruh. The jokes only hit if there's no truth to it, right? If there's no validation to what the rumors are and you're just joking, cool. But once it's been proven, like, the accusations are true, you can't joke about it, right? Because now it's cringe.
What was your greatest achievement?
This year?
Yeah.
Being able to have the right to squat.
The right to squat?
Sir, so now we know what's going on. Now we know what's going on. Jim Jones discovered that he could get into big buildings and not pay rent, and the government and their weird laws will protect him. So Jim Jones, now at the time it appeared to be a joke. Now we know it's not a joke because Jim Jones was literally squatting and got into a very expensive building to stop paying rent. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man?
Man, look, 50 Cent, the wrong dude to be beefing with, man. That's all I know. Y'all get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. It's your boy Buddha. I'm out.